Hello, hello. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I hope everybody is well today. Um, it is Sunday, April 27th. I took last week off because my daughters had spring break. My mom was in town. It was Easter. Not that we're like religious, but I actually made a meal. Sort of. Anyways, I hope everybody is well. The Pope passed away this week, and I had an interesting visit while I was walking on the treadmill. I think it was Monday, might have been Tuesday. I do lazy walks on the treadmill to get my 10,000 steps in a day, and I picked Angels and Demons to watch. It's like an old Tom, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. He was in Booze and Buddies, but I'll tell you how old I am. He was the voice of Woody. Anyway, so the beginning opening, say hello if you're here. The opening of this movie is the Pope dying, and then all of a sudden, as I'm walking, I feel the Pope's energy pop up right next to me, and he was, talking about, hi CB. He was talking about like, just how he should have walked on treadmills, and like he was just very happy. Hi Svetlana, hi Regine. He was very happy and had just smiling and wonderful energy, and talking about the movie and how he enjoyed watching movies. He really enjoyed that one. He likes ones like that where he can see like, hang on Svetlana, where he can see like what people think, what they get right, what they get wrong. I did have a nice Easter, and there's a prediction that was made, like, I don't know, hundreds of years ago, about like the last Pope, and apparently the Pope after him, and like this person who made the predictions, like was specific about things, about the popes that would come, and so anyways, they said there's only one spot in the Vatican of like pictures of the Pope, and there's only one spot left for a picture. And I asked the Pope, I was like, so is there really only, how many more popes are there going to be? And he said 2. And he goes, and then there's a change. And my feeling was not like, oh, it's the end of the world. It's like, it was the feeling of like a big change within the Catholic Church. And I don't feel like it'll be fully the end of the Catholic Church. And I think part of this comes along because, so I asked for, my hair is going to drive me nuts when I can't do it the way I want, like, because I can't. Okay, sorry. Hi, Fern. Hi, Michelle. Oh, you found us. Great. Okay. So my feeling was that when I asked my guides yesterday, what does that mean? Like, I was driving and I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, there's a change. And it was a feeling of that there's going to be a disclosure of information that, and maybe it's aliens, maybe all of that comes out. Who knows? But it feels like there's going to be disclosure of some sort where it's going to change people's perspectives on things. Now, will there still be some like diehard people that are like, I'll always only believe this, like where it's like they'll think that they're being lied to and all that other stuff, for sure. But it's just a feeling of that, like something changes where, I don't know, maybe they start letting women be popes. Who knows? Oh, thank you. It's more just that like I see it hang funny and I'm like, oh, like, hang on, this is flat here. It's still wet. So I'm trying to like, and then I also don't want it to look like a helmet. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna like cut it off or anything. It's just like, and I still can't figure out how to change the way this, like I wanted to video the way I look in the way I look in the mirror. So then what I do is like on like this is, but when I see it on the screen, looks like my left side. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's called. Mirroring, whatever. Anyways, okay, so Svetlana, these questions are all $12 a question. 30% goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I do charge a little bit. I charge way less than any other reader charges. And I probably have more experience than most of the other readers. I've been doing professional readings for 17 years now. And I don't charge you extra or ask you to donate extra. I just like stores do. I just say like, I'm going to take 30% of the money that you're paying today and donate it to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I think this past year, I think I donated, ended up like 1,600, something like that. I can't remember the exact number. And other years I donated more, but I also did different where I would take all the money around the holiday season and donate it. But then like that ended up being like, I don't know, whatever. Anyways. Okay. So how is everybody doing? What's going on? Did you hear Trump was asleep at the, let's see, I've got a payment from Michelle. So if you want to ask your question, I want to say this, if you're manifesting things, sometimes you don't even know when they've manifested it. And I'm going to tell you this because I created a manifestation where I was like, I want clients that have like lots of extra income, that are like influential people, because I also feel like maybe they'll like talk to other influential people that have lots of extra income. Because I recognize that what I do is, it's not a necessity for anybody. And so I want clients that do full readings or that potentially have events and things like that, which like more money. What's a loaded question for you? There might be a delay. But I realized so I have a client. First of all, if you want to know how I do readings, when you book a reading now, especially now, I don't even have to set up the Zoom thing. So you book a reading, I get a notification that somebody has, I'll get your name or whatever, and that you have a reading on whatever day. And I usually just make sure that I haven't forgotten to put something in my calendar and book stuff, because sometimes I have to move stuff around because stuff pops up with my kids, or I completely forgot to block out time. And so that's the only way I look at it. But otherwise, even the day before I had the reading, my friend was like, oh no, it's the day of, because we went and got her nails done in the morning. And I was like, oh, I have a client, so I can't hang out for too long. And she's like, oh, tell me about your client. I was like, I honestly don't know. I just know I have a client at 1:30 and I have to be there. So I don't, let me see, Regine. So I don't look at anything. Oh, I've got 3 of you. Okay, so I have Regine, Mariana, and Michelle. So I realized this person, after her reading, I was like, she's like, oh, she said, they said, I should not. They said, oh, do you remember me? I was like, I don't. I'm sorry. It's not personal. First of all, I have something, and I didn't tell her this, but I have something where I don't recognize people when they're, I don't know, whatever. I could work with people for 40 hours a week when I was working as a nurse. And if they weren't in their uniform and where I expected them to be, I would not recognize them. It's I'd be like, I know you from somewhere. It just, my brain is weird. Maybe that's a neurodivergent thing. I don't know. But I also, when I'm in reading mode, it's not that I'm not friendly and warm. I'm just in another, it's not that I'm not present, but my brain is everything is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So I don't hold on to things for a very long time. And then 2, if I don't see you all the time, if I'm seeing you once every 6 months or so, I might not remember you. So I just honestly, I don't. And I said, I'm really sorry, because I'm not great at lying. So you would see it all over my face. And she's she said she appreciated and respected it. But afterwards, I was like, she's an entrepreneur, and she said she did something. I was like, let me just look at what this is. Cause I was didn't remember. When I looked at her, I was like, oh, she is the definition of what I was looking for. Somebody who does really well, who's very successful, who's, influential. She may not see herself that way, but I was like, I have already made it. And I have clients that are judges and lawyers and successful, business owners of therapy and all of that stuff. So I'm like, oh, these are the people that I want. It's not that I don't want other people as clients. It's just that I also feel guilty when I know somebody doesn't have a lot of money if they're coming to a reading from me, because I feel like I don't want to take what they need for food. I don't want to, whatever. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, it's sometimes you've manifested what and you don't realize you've manifested the things you have. You also fail to remember people. I spend 27 hours per week with my students, and I struggle to remember their names, and their faces vanish from memory as soon as they graduate. Yeah, I feel bad. Like, I don't want to be that way, but it's like, I don't know. Good evening, Julia. Yeah, okay, Regina, I got yours. I'm digging deeper into a career path. I have an interview coming up, but I'm also looking at taking classes for a different direction, seeking more insight. Okay, so what do you want to know? Do you want to know if you're supposed to be in the career you're in? Do you want to know if you should be taking those classes? Do you want to know, like, what do you, because I'll never tell you, like, this is the thing. And the universe, believe it or not, doesn't tell you what you should do, because there's nothing in life that you should be doing. Like, everything is an option. Now, are there things that are better suited or less difficult? Sure. But that's where free will is. Like, they allow you to experience whatever you want to experience. So, like, I'm glad that, yeah. So it's like, I'm not with my clients. It's not like I'm like, oh, I don't want, like, but it's like, because I actually don't ever look anybody up. I never actually know my clients unless they tell me. But even then, sometimes they're vague about it, or I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, they're like, oh, I'm a writer, I'm a director, I'm a producer. I'm like, okay, great. Like, but I don't really like look them up, because I don't know. Honestly, because usually when I'm done with reading, I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta run. Um, Another client gave me a really incredibly kind compliment. And it was, she said, your readings allow me to sleep at night. And she's like, that's why I like getting readings from you, is because I walk away knowing, like, especially like after this is somebody who's had several readings. And she was like, because when I look back, everything that, like, even the parts that are like, I look back and you said all of this stuff was going to happen, all of these things were going to happen, and like, all along the way, though, like, as you're saying, you're like, and everything's going to be okay as you go through it, it's going to work out, like, this is how so she said, it allows me to sleep at night. And I was like, that's like the nicest thing. Like, I love hearing that I'm right about things. Believe me, I like the validation, but also just that it brings you peace is huge. Okay, be more clear. Just because I don't know. Okay. So I've got Regine, Michelle, and Mariana. Oh, you feel the same way. Thank you, Regine. Because I also feel bad when, like, people come on here and they're like, oh, I don't want to be wrong about things. And sometimes the timing stuff is really hard. It's like, I can see, like, my chiropractor, I would go into him. Like, I haven't been to him in years now, but, like, I'd be like, I know you're getting married, and I can see she's around you, and she's like in your, whatever. And, he ended up, getting married, but my timing was always off with it. And I was like, I don't know why my timing is off with this. I don't understand that. I just think that things don't have to be, like I say, my readings are never doom and gloom. Like, I see people predicting stuff online, like doing general stuff. And they're kind of doom and gloomy around it. Like, it's like, yeah, we're going to go through bumps and stuff. And some people are going to struggle more than others, but, like, they're like, it's the end of the world. And, like, first of all, even if it is the end of the world, let's, like, be really real about it. Even if it's like, there'd be like apocalypse, the world ends. It's like, and people get really scared about it. I'm like, but there's literally nothing you can do about that. So, like, just keep living your life and finding the happiness. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, if the world were obliterated tomorrow, am I going to freak out? I'm like, no, because, like, well, one, I believe that I go on and I continue to exist. And two, like, I have no control over it. So, like, okay. Like, I'm very specific. You know what's funny is, like, so I went to um do an in-person circle for the Spiritual Church of New York City a few weeks ago. And when I was done, the president of the spiritualist church, and she's also the reverend, she's all Janet, and then another fellow reverend came up to me, and they both said, like separately, like, "You're so specific." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't know what to make of it. I honestly was like, is that a compliment? Like, I'm not really sure. Am I not supposed to be specific? Like, am I doing too much? Am I um, supposed to be more like, I honestly, should I be more vague? Um, and so I emailed one of them and I was like, hey, I know this is kind of weird, but I don't know how I was supposed to take, like, sometimes I don't know, is that a compliment or not? So I was like, I am like, am I supposed to be? He's like, no, I meant it totally as a compliment. I always want more details. And I was like, oh, okay, good. Like, because I genuinely wasn't like, I don't know. Okay, can you give examples of what types of questions are good for this type of reading? All right. Why don't I formulate it and see if you like the way you like it, why I'm saying it. So you're already I just want to be clear on this. You're already taking these classes to go a different direction, or you're considering it. Let me see. Oh, you're considering it. All right. Um, so are you interviewing with a woman? Because I feel like I'm sitting in front of a woman. Can I ask that? And also, do you have TMJ really bad? Because I feel like my jaw is really tight. More on my right than my left. Okay. All right. So then I'm on the right thing. Okay. So this is what I feel. I feel like the interview goes really well. I actually feel like you end up taking the job. It feels like it goes a little bit different direction than maybe initially expected or whatever. Like maybe she feels like you would, the job description or role changes slightly, more so based on your skills and who you are rather than like them tricking you. I see room for growth there. And I see really like personality wise, really getting along well. Um, they also said you definitely would be a personality hire because I feel like there's some qualifications that you don't quite hit, but they like you so much that that's not necessarily an issue. That said, I do feel like you continue to pursue this other thing on the side, but I also feel like this is not something where you can just do that and then like not also have another job in the meantime. So in like 3 years, I feel like this transition over, but it's not a full transition over. It feels like just doing this little bit on the side. There is a healing aspect to it. So I don't know if you're doing nursing or if you're doing Reiki, but there's I don't want to say giving back aspect, but there's this giving, caring aspect to it. Does that resonate? I don't see you fully transitioning out of a working for someone aspect for about 10 years. Some of that is because of benefits that you get from the job. And so not ready to fully let go of that and like have to take on. Um, but then like being ready. And I want to say this, it may sound disappointing now because in your head you have like the other, whatever. But I don't feel like you'll be disappointed at all. Makes complete sense. Okay, totally in line with my situation. Thanks. Perfect. Okay, great. Either Regine or Mariana. You're up next. And then I also have Fern. A general? Sure. Did you? Let me see. Let me just double check on this. Ooh. Oh, Regine, you have two. Okay, I see why you said start with. I was like, wait, did I miss that? Okay, let me just put this here. Okay. I get this feeling of around you of like a lot of uncertainty, and I just feel like I'm not really breathing. It's funny. I feel like my crown chakra and my third eye are wide open, but like everything from here down feels really tight, and this anxious feeling of in freeze mode. So I'm not fight or flight. I just feel like I'm in freeze mode. Like I'm just holding my breath, waiting, 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 waiting. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? I guess all things come to pass. All things happen in time. I do feel like this uncertainty, especially with like the economy and, there's little trickles of news coming in now. It's like, oh, the shelves are going to be bare. There will be some things that are harder to come by than others at times, but nothing that that will be, it will not be permanent. It's temporary. And nothing that won't be like that you won't be able to make it through. Did you put an offer in on a property or land? Hi, Allie. Excuse me. You feel everything is freezing? What do you mean by that? No offer yet? I actually feel like unexpectedly you're going to put one in sooner than you think. Like it's not like you're going to be like, I had no idea, but I feel like it's going to be just finding something and kind of it just kind of moves along quicker than you think. It feels like a too good to pass up kind of thing. And it doesn't feel like a too good to be true. So I want to be clear on that. It just feels too good to pass up. Do some breath work, just because I do feel like I'm not breathing. Like literally, I was like holding my breath. Um, they said also it's like you're almost waiting for something to go wrong. And they're like, it's not going to go wrong. The other thing with manifestation, like law of assumption, which I love the law of assumption for this reason, like everything. Okay, first of all, everything is neutral until you give it meaning. So like nothing has a meaning until you decide what the meaning is. And where was it going with that? Dang it, when you channel stuff, sometimes it stops. Um, this idea of like, you can just decide that it's all working out best case scenario in your favor, and like even when something looks negative, you just be like, oh yeah, that's part of the bridge of incidents too, to get me to what I want to be, instead of doing the fatalistic thing of like, yeah, it means it's not working. It's like that can mean exactly that it's working perfectly, and that like the next thing is like the thing coming in. So everything is neutral until you give it meaning. But I feel like doing breath work will help energy move through you a little bit easier. One other thing quick around your dad, I feel like and I know things are like tough with him because of a strong personality. That's a nice way of saying it. Um, I feel like around him there needs to be a little bit more organization of things, or being. And I'm not saying like, oh, he's going to die tomorrow, so like get it together. But I just feel like it's important to start doing things now to make sure um, his stuff is lined up. Uh, I don't know if it's because like better to get it all together while his wits are about him. So I don't know if he's having some memory issues or some, um, I'm going to call them memory issues. Okay, I have to tell you, I went to the eye doctor this week, and I told her, I was like, I don't want to do bifocal lenses anymore because they don't really work. I'm still having to wear reading glasses with them, and it's really annoying. I'm like, I can read things fine without, for the most part, without my any lenses or glasses at all. Like I don't have so much of an issue. Um, Only if it's like really tiny, do I have to pull out reading glasses on. But so she put me in like my left eye because I have an astigmatism in both eyes, but my left eye is not as bad, or what she said. Anyway, she put in a weaker lens in my left eye. And I'm all excited because I can read the screen again and I don't need reading glasses. I'm not having to be like, so my right eye has like the prescription that both of my eyes actually need. My left eye is a little bit weaker. So then I'm not, she's like, so then you're not having to wear. So for some things I still need to pull out my reading glasses, but it's fabulous. So I can see again. You understand that? Okay, great. I was trying to, it's like, again, it's not like I feel like, oh my God, he's going to die. Like, it's just this feeling of like, get things in order now. It'll make it easier for them when it's like, when things are a little more chaotic or whatever. Okay, Mariana, this is quick. Will I be able to swap my US driver's license for a Portuguese one soon? I messed up the paperwork originally. I have one more thing to sort out, but I'm hoping it's within 6 weeks, I feel like. So that's soon. Yeah, it is. It's also was like getting annoying where I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's not that I'm cheap and not that we like don't have the money to do it, but like I don't want to pay more for lenses that aren't really helping me anyway. Like I'd rather just I told her I was like, I'd rather just have single vision and use glasses and use reading glasses than like have these. They're not really working. You donated for a question. Okay, Allie. Oh, 6 weeks. So it's not that long, but I just feel like with like immediately got 6 weeks. I mean, it could be as soon as the 6th of May, because sometimes my things are off, whatever, like I'll hear, but I think it's like 6 weeks. And it might not be here. Let me put it this way. If they like mail it to you, that might be what like some of it is. You have to order one more thing from the US. Yeah. So it feels like 6 weeks. It seems like there's a lot of Americans moving to Portugal. Okay. Julia, I got one for you too. Oh, is Fern your daughter? I just saw the last name. Okay. Mariana, Regine. Then Michelle, if you want to. Oh, Michelle asked her question. Then Fern, Julia, and Allie. Oh, you're her niece. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Okay, so you want to do yours now, Fern? Oh, okay. That's nice. I never had any cousins that were really around my age. I had, when I was little until I was 12, I was like the youngest in my entire family on both sides of the family. And then my aunt and uncle on my mom's side, who already had 3 grown children, like their youngest son was a sophomore in college, adopted 2 little boys. And then an aunt on the other side of the family had a son when I was like 16. So I'm not really close to any, like close in age to any of my cousins, though they're all like the cousin like that was above me when I was like, the youngest of everybody was a year older than my oldest sister. So everybody was like, I was just like always kind of like the like odd man out. Still the odd man out. Just kidding. I mean, I'm a little odd compared to like everybody else in my family, but okay. I was wondering if you were able to connect with my great grandpa on my mom's side by any chance. What's his first name? Okay, Misty, I'll check for it. How are you doing? I saw your comments on my video, by the way. I'm going to respond in a video because they were great comments, if you don't mind. It was just like the community. I've been really, really, really thinking about the community and like what's making me stick. So I'm actually going to do a hypnosis session tomorrow to help me have like any blocks that's like I'm having towards getting it going. And like the motivation, because I get a little overwhelmed when I think about all the things I want to do and like trying to figure out how to get it done. Cause like executive function's not my best friend. And like when they talk about people like, you could just batch everything. And I'm like, that's even overwhelming because I also have this very black and white thinking that's like, but the reading's that day. So I should do it for that. Like it's a little like, I know, you know how it is. So I have to like mold my brain a little bit better. I just got the funny brain mold. So, hi, Taterniak. Tater or Taterniak. I don't know how you say her name. Taterniak. I don't know. Where do I put the accents? Where do I stress the syllables? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Misty. All right. So what's Grandpa's name? Oh, okay, Gabrielle. I was wondering, I was actually going to email you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Do I believe in the evil eye? So here's what I believe. I believe our beliefs create our reality. So are you saying, do I believe in the protection of the evil eye? Good. I'm glad you're feeling okay. Is that what you're saying? Do I believe in the protection of it, or do I believe that people can put the evil eye on you? The protection of it. So, okay. I believe that when you give something power, it has power. Because if your beliefs create your reality, then if you believe that, then that's what works. And maybe you're asking because I have all these up here. I just like decorations, but not like overwhelming. I don't know, whatever. I just they were cute, and I was like, I'll just stick them up in my little area where I do my readings. But I don't. I believe things carry energy, and the energy that you put into them. I believe like rocks and stuff carry energy because they're a part of the earth. But I don't believe that you need those in order to keep you safe or to do any of your workings. But if you believe they do, then they do. It's like pretty simple. If you believe in curses, then there are curses. But I don't believe in curses. I don't believe that anybody has that kind of power over you. I believe that people can send negative energy, and then if you have this belief system that like, but I'm wearing this, and so anything that happens that anybody sends me, it's like spell work, is repelled from me and I'm protected, then it is. I also carry a belief system that I'm protected. My guides take care of me, and anybody, I sort of also like take this one of like, it just like the energy that somebody sends me goes back to them. Like if it's negative, it just goes back to them. Or it like I just have created all different kinds of belief systems around it, like where I don't necessarily need to wear something or hold something. I like to hold this while I do readings. But I don't have to because, like I was walking on the treadmill and connected with the Pope. I was driving my car and just talked to my guides. I don't carry this around. You were thinking of that, repelling negative energy and keeping a positive spirit. Yeah. I don't know my guides' names. I know their energy. So I don't really, it's not like important. And like one of them right now is laughing. He's like, you can call me whatever you want. like, they don't, and even some of them are their native, whatever languages, like I don't connect with them in that language, but their name would be almost impossible for me to pronounce. So I didn't even really know what any of them looked like until recently. And usually when I'm connecting, it's more of like a collective, but like this one guys, like there's one guy that's been hanging out a lot lately and like chatting with me and like working with me a lot, but I don't know his name. I know now in my mind's eye what he looks like. Literally, you could call him Fred. Doesn't matter. They don't really care, honestly. I don't think that names are a human thing. It's a very earth thing. Um, Naming things is a very human thing, but you can give anything any name. I mean, think about all the names there are for a bathroom or a toilet or anything, even within just the English language, right? Based on different countries. Have I met any angels? I don't know. I feel like angels is a very Christian thing. I've worked with some of them, yeah. And there was one that was with my daughter, but they don't look the way pictures depict them. Oh, his name is not Donald. Shame on you. Oh, your grandfather's name is Donald. I thought you were saying my my guy's name is Donald, like Donald Trump. And I was like, no, don't say that. Okay, let me try and connect with Vern's great. Is it great grandfather or great grandpa? Okay. Sorry. And then Jules, I'll answer your question in just a minute. Because that's a good, like, that's not a too personal one. That can be helpful for anyone. First of all, do you know things about him that you can validate? So, like, I feel really like there is something wrong with his jaw. Um, I don't feel like it's a tight jaw like TMJ. There's something else going on with it. Um, it's gonna sound dumb, but like kicked by a horse and it messed up his jaw or something. There, but it's not a TMJ thing. And then I also feel like he had a lot of low back pain, and like his hips might have been off alignment. Like maybe one leg was longer than the other, or shorter than the other. Like, did he? I don't feel like it would have been like obvious, like, where some people wear those shoes and they have like it's a 6 inch difference or anything, but I feel like it would have created back pain. Ooh. He feels finer boned to me, which I don't think of. Y'all are Scottish, right? I don't think of Scottish people being really slight framed, but he feels like more of a slight frame to me. He had different shoes because he had his toes taken off because, oh, okay. Okay. You're Scottish, right? But I feel like he has a finer build to him. It's not a real stocky build. Would the thing with his shoes, would that have created like a did he walk different because of it? And did it create like back pain? Or did he have maybe he had low back pain because of the illness he had? Okay. Because I feel small. Like he shows me as being really small, like skinny. I also feel like my lungs are burning a lot. Like, when I passed, whatever I had was creating that like a difficult breathing or lung burning feeling. I feel like he joked around a lot, but I also feel very a sweetness to him. Like he was very, very loving and kind. But he showed a lot of his love through acts of kindness, through work, for doing things for others. So, like he liked to take care of others and do other work and do things to help people out. I also feel like he was known to trade, to barter his. So if somebody didn't have a lot of money, he would trade with them, like skills or something like that. Did he work with sheep or did he farm sheep or what? It was like he would make them crooks for. Oh, I just saw the sheep thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, like trading tools. Yeah. Because he showed me sheep in a field with like a little rock wall. He's laughing at me because I don't know any of like anything about farming or working with animals or working like um so he's like, I couldn't tell you what everything's called because you wouldn't know anyway. He said my hands are too soft. He's like looking at my hands. I feel like that would have been his way to like joke around with people, is like look at their hands and see if they're too soft or not. like, like might give people a hard time if they didn't work with their hands enough. He's showing me as a younger boy. Hold on. I just still like, he's showing me him as younger, like in his teenage years. and he would get in trouble quite a bit for because he liked to do pranks or jokes. Um, oh, okay. Sh- um, so first he goes, "There's nothing I can tell her because she's perfect." So meaning there's no wisdom or advice. Um, but he's saying to look out for you because he'll come for a visit in the winter, which I'm like, well, that's like a ways away. But so I feel like something might be coming up, and it doesn't feel like because I'm like, is this the past? It doesn't. It feels like this is coming up. So there may be something that comes up. I don't know. I feel like I'm like, um, and I don't feel like something terrible happens, but I feel like maybe something might come up health wise where you get a little worried by what they're telling you. And the feeling I get is it's not as bad as they're going to say it is. Like it's not. I don't feel like it's a misdiagnosis, but I just feel like everything's going to be okay. It's and like, but I feel like he visits you in a dream and reassures you too. Like he's with you, keeping you safe. Um, he's like, I don't know anything about medicine, but I knew how to take care of animals. I knew how to like I knew how to birth them or whatever. He's like, and things won't look as bad as they seem, or things won't be as bad as they seem. So I'm not trying to make you nervous. So I want to make that very clear. I don't feel like anything's going on. It might just be like maybe you get the flu and have kind of a bad bout of the flu or a bad bout of pneumonia. And it just feels like when you see him, don't think, oh my God, I'm going to die. I need to say that too, because sometimes we think when we have a visit from our loved one, that means like it's not. It's just he's there, he's taking care of you, he's going to watch over. But I don't know. Please don't panic because I don't usually tell stuff like that because I feel like, but that's when he's going to visit. I'm like, well, why are you? And it's a feeling of like, or maybe there's I don't know. There's just something where it's something around like almost like it feels like a medical thing that happens. But I feel like don't panic as I'm saying this. Like, oh my God, the worst thing in the world is because I don't feel like it's that, but I feel like that's where he has the opportunity because you're quiet enough to listen and be receptive to receiving a visit. And I don't feel like he's going to like show up in corporal form in front of you and be like, I'm here. I just feel like it might be a dream state or whatever where it feels real. And I feel like maybe your mom's not, and this is, I'm speaking directly to your mom right now. Maybe you're not always open to like the fact that you are very intuitive because there's just so many things that keep you busy that you're not open to receiving it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Also, I want to say this because I think this is really important for other people. Because I was thinking about like the ascension symptom things where people are like, you're having ascension symptoms. But I actually don't think it's that. I think that, and I kind of bought into this stuff until I started like taking care of my health and realizing like, oh, those aren't ascension symptoms. That's like me having insulin resistance and like the ear ringing and everything else. I think that what happens is when we go down a more spiritual path and we start to say meditate or just pay attention to the world in a little bit different way and get a little bit quieter, you actually start to listen to your body more and your body starts to be a little bit noisier. And so you experience your symptoms of what's going on with your body physically a little differently. And it's not really that you're ascending, it's that you're connecting deeper within yourself. And so you're more aware of the things going on with your body in a different way. Does that connect to your mom at all? Does she understand at all? You're welcome. Okay. All right. So that's Fern. Let's see. And then I'll check my payments. So I have Julia and Allie. And then let me see. I think Misty said she made a payment. And Regine's second question. Um, Misty. Yeah. And Gabby. Okay. Okay. And then I'll answer this one from Jules. Um, You've been doing lots of leading out with Woody around our field and me on foot. Does he prefer that, or would he be ready to have his saddle and bridle on and be ridden on his own? Um, okay. So I feel like he's not quite ready yet for the saddle and bridle. It's funny, he really enjoys the walks with you. Uh, it feels like two old friends. like, um, and he enjoys enjoys being ridden, but I feel like he's not ready for it yet. He likes the ease of this right now, and it's like a different energetic connection, and he likes that. Um, it feels like maybe a couple months or two, like he's saying two, so maybe 2 weeks. It just feels like waiting a little bit longer. He just enjoys, and if you're riding him again, make sure you like to go for these walks too, because he really enjoys the walks. It's like this, I don't know. Is there something with his teeth, or did you just have dental work done on him? Because I feel like not loving the way like, do you put like a bar or something in his mouth? I don't know, the bit thing or whatever. I can connect with animals. Yeah. I did a reading the other day, and this woman, it was so cute. I was doing a reading for her. I was like, I saw like a little dog coming in, but I don't feel like it's your dog. I feel like it's almost like a dog you take care of. She goes, oh, that's her sister-in-law or somebody's dog. And I was like, oh, she's showing me like she loves coming over to your house and is very excited, but wants them to tell her about it ahead of time, because she likes the preparation. She appreciates that. And I said, and she really likes dressing up. Like, she's showing me with like, and she goes, oh, I always buy her little outfits to wear. I was like, she loves it. She loves like being a princess. His teeth are really bothering me. Yeah, because I feel like it's like up on the top, up back ones more so than anything. And then I feel like there's also like a sensory thing about like a grind and not liking the way it feels or something. So like there's certain things I don't like a feeling in my mouth that I like, ugh, it just makes me like cringe. He keeps biting everything. Oh, there's like I don't know. Are his gums a little inflamed? I don't feel a cavity. I just feel like I don't know. I don't even know if a horse will let you do it, but like there's like, oh yeah, then maybe that's what it is. Cause he doesn't like, it's like, I feel like I have the mental thing in my mouth. I don't really like having that in my mouth. Like it creates more discomfort or something, but I don't feel a cavity or anything or a cracked tooth. And that might be the soreness I'm feeling, as if teeth are still growing in. Do horses like ice cubes? I feel like him chewing on ice. He showed me chewing on ice. I was like, that's weird. I've never heard of somebody giving horses ice cubes. He likes carrots cold. That's what it is. Ah, sorry. Can horses eat raspberries? It's weird, but I just felt like frozen raspberries. He just it I don't want to say like it feels majestic when he walks with you, but there's something like magical that happens when you go on your walks with him. He's been struggling eating his feed. Hmm. Like struggling because of the chewing bit of it, or doesn't like the flavor of it. I actually feel like his feed makes him have like tummy upset. Like I feel a little sour on my tummy. Oh, his baby teeth. Like maybe makes him a little more gassy. Hang on, I just want to turn my heater on down here. It's got a new magnesium. That might be what's bothering him. I mean, you can connect with anything, literally. You can connect with trees. You can connect with everything carries energy. Um, it's all a part of consciousness. So I should keep out a blanket on my legs. It's you know what it is? It's I'm in the basement. So the basement's cold. And I don't know. I don't know. I should. I have a blanket on this little chair. I could put it on, but then I don't know. Um, You're welcome. I appreciate you. Okay, Allie, what's your question? And then we have Misty and Gabby and Regine. I'm so annoyed. I had some conflict with another coworker. Now I'm starting to think I'm ill-tempered. I just had it with the crap. You're fine. Listen, when you work with people, like any kind of relationship you have with people, there's going to be conflict occasionally because unless you just are the ultimate people pleaser and just do whatever and keep your mouth shut and like, but like, you're fine. Just just go on about your day as if like, it's not like as if nothing happened, but like also like just it's not the end of the world. I know you've said you're ADHD, and part of that is perseverating on stuff and like not catastrophizing, but just sort of like, oh my God. And if our like thoughts create our reality, the thing you're gonna shift to, you told her write you up and happily write my name. Yeah, but it's fine. She's not going to. Um, Listen, I told the boss once because I got pulled in, and this was at a travel nurse job, because one of the nurses was talking shit about me to everybody, and like I just quietly worked by myself. I didn't really even understand what was going on. Like I was so confused by most of it. Um, and the manager and the charge nurse pulled me in, and they were like, "What's going on?" Well, I was like, "If you really think I'm the problem here, fire me. Cancel my contract today. I understand how my contract works. It's fine. I don't want to be the problem here. So if you really believe I'm the problem, just fire me. Get rid of me. It's fine. I'm good with it. Let's go." And she was shocked by that. I did not get fired. In fact, I got offered after I left, my contract ended. I was like 34 weeks pregnant. She's like, "Do you want to come back and work for another 3 weeks?" I was like, "No, I don't." Thanks. Because I was already having contractions and stuff at work. I ended up delivering my oldest at like 37 weeks. So I was like, "No, I'm good. Thank you so much." Um, but like sometimes you do have to just be like, "Yeah, like if I'm a problem, then do it. That's fine. I'll deal with it." Um, Another time, I was like the other things where it's just you just kind of go like, "Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Just like deal with that." But I genuinely don't feel like you're the problem. I just feel like you're perseverating on it. So here's the thing, and this is like law of assumption. This is the way it works. So I'm going to like help you on it. But genuinely, I don't feel like you're the problem. Um, you just decide that like everything's fine, everything's smooth over. They didn't even like think twice about it. It's done, and they still like me, and still like whatever. They aren't even phased by it, and you just decide it's like not even a big deal. I'm like, that's how it shows up. If you show up and you're constantly like, "Oh my God, they hate me now. They think I'm such a problem. They're going to see what a big problem I am." It's like, that's what you're going to manifest. So you just decide it's like not even a big deal. They totally understand. Everybody is like, whatever. And even your boss is like, if that's your boss, it's like, that's like par for the course for her, like to like, whatever. It's fine. But you don't have to let it take over your day. Like you literally, she embarrassed you in front of customers. So then like, she's the problem. You're not. You could even decide if you really want to get funky, you really want to work on manifesting, right? And you really want to see how that works in like thought transmission. Um, like start imagining her just coming up to you and apologizing and saying like, "Oh, I really thought it over, and I realized I really shouldn't have addressed you in front of customers, and I'm really sorry I embarrassed you in front of customers." End of story. Done. And just decide that's how it's going to be, and just fine. Because my feeling is she's actually feeling embarrassed about her behavior. But really and truly, it's fine. You're good. You're getting the idea. Yeah. Like when I say everything is neutral until you give it meaning, everything is literally neutral until you give it meaning. So I saw an example where it was like, and this might have been from Kayla, the love coach. I think that's what she calls herself. Um, I think she's the one who said it, because I've had now, because I'm like watching a lot of manifesting stuff, I get more and more of it. Like I'll sit and just listen to it. I get more and more of that on my FYP, but um, she was like, if you have somebody who's like, you say you have, I think it was her, two people experience the exact same situation. One is like, they almost got hit by a car. They're freaking out. Like, what a terrible day it was. Can you believe that? Look at this idiot driver. And they just like focus on that. Like, I could have died. This is the worst thing ever. Or you have somebody else who almost gets hit by a car and they're like, "Oh my God, can you believe, like, look at the universe, like protected me and kept me safe. It's like the most amazing thing. Miracles happen. Like, look at how protected and safe I am." Like, exact same situation, totally neutral until you give it meaning. They owe me a cup of tea. Nah, we're good. We're so like, I don't know. I genuinely, I genuinely believe, and maybe I didn't always believe this. This is something I had to create, that I am like, everything always works out for me. Even if it doesn't look like it is in the moment, everything always works out for me. And my guides literally always take care of me. But I had to decide that was a belief. And that was like through working through a lot of my fears created by Christianity and created by Hollywood about doing the work that I do and what it means to connect with other beings. And I love talking about all the spiritual stuff. I love talking about law of assumption because I'm still a work in progress. Like I said, I'm going to do some hypnosis tomorrow, just more so because I like listening to her voice while I sleep. It's very comforting, but also because I like doing the work. Like I'm all about like making things as easy as possible, like not overcomplicating anything. And um, I know that I have some deep seated inner blocks around stuff, and I think a lot about, well, like, oh, well, how would I word that? How could I do that? But I'm a work in progress. Hi, Earth Angel. They're paid readings. They're $12 a question. 30% I donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. If you're still interested, I can post a link for you to pay. Sometimes you feel like people get bothered. You're happy too. So they started to confuse me with like you're immature. Well, like my daughter gets, first of all, sometimes people are going to be triggered by you because energetically it's not a match to them, and so it feels different and feels weird, right? I guess, I mean, if misery makes you mature, then I will never want to be that way. Um, let me be the most immature person in the room. I mean, people are going to have opinions of you no matter what you do in life, and you get to decide to give it power or not. Like, no matter what I do, someone's going to have an opinion of me. Someone's going to decide like I'm not, you know, uh, gotcha enough with the work that I do. I don't know. People are always going to have an opinion, or that I'm working with the devil. And quite frankly, I think the devil's on God's side. If you're going to put him in the like Judeo-Christian or the Christian idea that like he's punishing you for not for not believing in God, well then like aren't they on the same team? I don't know. For not following all the rules because you're a sinner. Well, then I guess they're on the same team because I'm pretty sure I have a good head on my shoulders. Thank you. Uh, you just feel you have to fight through. I don't like being a coward. But why do you don't have to show up, just you don't have to show up to a fight because somebody invites you to it. I had a family member confront me on here at one point. Why did I block everybody? And then I got nasty text messages and emails and phone calls from her mother. And so I downloaded, cut, pasted in, like sent them the copy of like the minute before and the minute after of the interaction and the interaction, and said like, and um, I sent it to the entire family because that particular family member loves to gossip and talk crap. And I thought, well, I'm not going to show up to anything to. And then I still, like, my reaction was still inappropriate. I was disgusting, a terrible person and all of that. I'm like, whatever. Like I didn't call anybody names. I said, I understand why she would confront that way. I was very kind. But people are going to behave the way they behave and you have no control over it. And you get to show up for it or not. And I was calm about it. And I just decided I wasn't showing up for it. Like, I didn't have to respond in the timing that I waited like a week to respond. You don't have to respond to people just because they behave a certain way. Hi, Kayla. So, like that's like part of hi, McKeegan. That's like part of like, as you heal and grow and like start to like and when you start to work with like the law of assumption and understand your beliefs create your reality, it doesn't mean that like crappy people aren't going to show up or behavior isn't going to show up and it's everything's going to be like beautiful and blissed out all the time. It's not like that. It's not like you're, but it is like you start to understand that you don't have to react to things. My daughter, we were talking about, because there's a little girl that she used to be friends with and they're not, but more so because we started talking about, she's like, well, like the little girl did something, they brushed her hair out. It's like a long story. Or my daughter is a smaller for her age, and this girl is about a foot taller than her, and like to pick her up and carry around. My daughter's like, it's just weird. Like, I don't want to be carried around. And I just said, like, pay attention to how she responds when you ask her not to do things. And it sounds like she doesn't respect boundaries, and it sounds like she's sort of dismissive of your concerns. And like you don't have to like have a big fight with people. You just kind of decide you don't need to show up again. And I think like I had another client this week who, we talked about, she's like, why is this weird situation happening? And like, she's like kind of ignoring it. It was like a relationship thing with a friend. And I said, when you start doing the work and you start healing and you start learning to set boundaries and you start to like place value in yourself, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to, it's like they'll still show up in certain ways sometimes. And then you get to decide, like, you react differently because it's not because like you're not trying to smooth things over anymore to make them comfortable at your expense. You just decide like, oh, I'm not showing up for that. And that can feel uncomfortable when you're not used to doing that. People can be jealous. Absolutely. And you just kind of go, well, that's not about me though. And they're like, most of the time, the bad behavior that people do is not really about you. It's about their own insecurities and feelings of lack, I should say. And it takes a long time to get comfortable. And even when you decide you were like, oh, I'm actually really comfortable with setting boundaries and this is okay. Sometimes a situation comes up and you're like, oh, like you still feel uncomfortable, or you revert back to your old stuff. And that doesn't mean you're failing. And it doesn't mean you're totally going back to this old stuff. It just means that happens. The more grace you can give yourself through all of life, the better off you'll be. Okay. Misty, what's your question? I mean, it can. Meeting the wrong person can, or it can help you grow. I think all relationships, friendships, work relationships, or whatever, even the stuff that's like not great, where you have like a tough time with it, I've always grown from every single situation. Does it mean I like it? It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful that happened and that like sucked. It sucked going through it, and also I did grow from it. Like, even when I was like talking to my therapist about my sister-in-law, and she was like, and she had done something that like was really upsetting. This was like years ago. And she's like, do you wish that she'd have to suffer? Blah, blah. I was like, no, because I know that whatever I'm going through with her, I can like transfer and like help somebody else who's going through that. Like, so no, not really. I don't have that. Like, I hope they suffer. I mean, doesn't mean I didn't go through those stages of anger, but like overall on the whole, I don't really hold on to a lot of stuff too much. Hi, Booyah or Boohey. I don't know. I'm sorry. Boohey Provincia. I don't know. So they're $12 a question, and I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. If you are wanting to pay for that, I have a PayPal link I can share with you. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? It probably was because it's not. I always forget to do top chat to change it to. I would like to know when my in-laws, George and Rosemary. Husband and I have been in holding pattern for 12 years due to the assumption that we will need to take over the family business. I'll let you finish because we might have run into a character limit. Father-in-law can't let go of. They are 90 and 95. Well, holy, retire. It's okay. I know you're not. Have no attachment to the business. She dread it and would like to be prepared. Used to talk to psychics a lot, like 20 years ago, but they either hated me or were jealous when they found out I was on the other side. I found it unfair. What do you mean on the other side? Who you were on the other side? I'm confused. Can I call you Tater for short? I'm kidding. Sorry. That's one of those ones that can come through. I have like it set on like do not disturb, but I still have like certain numbers and things that can come through. It doesn't matter. Okay. You know, we're all just filters. Okay, hang on. Misty, I'm going to get to your question. I'm going to put the link really quick because I do get distracted and forgetful. Okay, Katrina. So readers are just like we're filters. And so like our messages, like that's why everybody sort of has their own style. And that's why some people are like, oh my God, I believe the demons are eating all of the Hollywood people and they're sucking the life out of them and they just pray to the demons all the time. Like, I mean, I do believe in dark magic, but like, I don't know. I think some of that is like their own perception of the way life is and the things they've gone through. Okay, hey. All right, so I'm going to answer Misty's question. I'll update the list. There's 3 new ones. Katrina, Marlene, who's MV? Is that hey? Can't remember who's who. Okay. So I've got, let me just update the list really quick. And then who's MA? What's your handle? You're an angel? Yeah. Some people just, and maybe also, I don't know. I've had bad readings and good readings and mediocre readings. I don't know. Mark, I don't know what your handle is. I knew what you meant. I didn't doubt that. Sometimes when you're one thing, some people are triggered by it and they respond differently. Um, I don't know what your handle is, so I'm just putting Mark for because I got your payment. Okay, so let me answer Misty's question here. So you were asking when are they gonna pass on the business? It's funny. I don't ever automatically assume somebody's like wanting the money kind of thing. I mean, that's a big responsibility to take on somebody's business. And then also like, because there's a pressure also of the like wanting to do as well with it as they did. Um, I just want to read the question again for the names. Oh, I don't know why I didn't, what's funny is like you said hi before and then it just like blanked that you're here. So I was like, I don't remember. Thank you. Sorry, McKeegan. Okay. Sorry. I think I'm smelling this wrong. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just want to look at the names again. George and Rosemary. Wait, your question's a little bit like, let me just ask you, because it says this is what you wrote. I would like to know when my in laws, George and Rosemary, husband and I have been in a holding pattern. Oh, you guys are in a holding pattern on what to do because you think that you're going to have to take over the family business. Father in law can't get let go of it. They are 90 and 95. I actually feel like within the next 5 months, you're going to start making a transition. Not that they're going to pass, that there's going to be a transition where your husband starts to work with his father on learning the business, meaning like kind of starting to slowly take over. And it feels like, I'm going to say this, like there's going to be a point when your husband's essentially running the business, but he doesn't, but not in title. And what will happen is your father-in-law will pass as owner of the business, but then your husband's already actually running it. But I feel like there's a conversation that happens in about 5 months where he says like, hey, can you start like, I want to start like learning it. And I want to make sure that I know how to do this, like, and do it with you. Can I work with you and be like under your tutelage? And I feel like your father-in-law will like literally still be working there until, but not the bulk of it. You're, under the idea of being his apprentice. I mean, this conversation may start a little bit sooner than that, but it just feels like needing to ease his way into it and under like the guise of being an apprentice, even though he'll get paid. I feel like your father-in-law is still like sound mind and body, and this is like sort of keeping him, that's what's like keeping him going. I feel like your mother-in-law even though they're older, appreciates that he still has work to do. Um, it's good for both of them. I genuinely, again, I feel like I don't feel like he fully gives over the business until he passes, but I feel like your husband starts to work there before that and really kind of doing the bulk of the stuff. Should be diplomatic, but it feels like, that idea of like I'll say, like, my grandmother, she retired from being a professor at 75, and then like she just didn't do anything really after that. Like she didn't, like, I mean, I just feel like she really went down, like, after that, like downhill after that. Like she just, I don't know. I feel like it kept her going in some way. And not that I think people should be working until they're, you know, forever old, and like so that they can, because they can't survive and so they have to work because of that. But like for some people, if they don't, that's like their life. They don't have a hobby outside of it because they're so, in it. Yeah, no one's freaking out from the, no one's like showing up to, like, no. I honestly feel like he's gonna be like a centenarian. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes to 100. But I also feel like your husband will be really kind of running it by, like, but not like without him. What is the company that they own? May I ask? I'm nosy. Since you're here. Father-in-law is a difficult personality and it's hard to know how much to give. I mean, yeah. But if you sweeten it as you talk to him, it's like I really want to make sure that I do it justice. Can I like be an apprentice here? Can you like share your knowledge and wisdom, not going in like, I'll just figure it out. I know how to do it. I've been watching you do it for years. So like, let me just do it. That will just piss him off, and like he'll grind it and like not even share it. But if you look at it like, can you even if he already knows the entire business, musical instruments, okay. So even if you know the entire, I don't know if that's the name of the business, so I'm just gonna take it off there just because we're public. But and I just don't want to, even if he already knows everything about it that there could be to know about it and how to order, it's like, don't take his pride away. Who told you you're out of bounds? Yeah. So just, I mean, I don't know. Oh, well, who knows? People are strange. Um, all right. Gabby, do you want to ask your question? Please like and all of that stuff. Hit your thumbs up button. I mean, I probably pissed my mom off while she was here because I was like, I tend to be being a little like Uh, well, I was getting a little dysregulated when we were out. Uh, um, you ended up coming home from camping. I felt better when we got home. The wind dust was horrible. Our neighbor is an NP, and she was checking my BP and thinks it was anxiety. It was normal readings. Okay, perfect. Let's just say the last time someone from the other side tried to get a message to me, 10 spirits turned up to stop them. Huh. You just have a message you need to hear. Okay. Did you go to an even higher elevation when you went camping? I'm going to say this. I feel like your husband was disappointed when you left. Um, I don't feel like he made you feel bad about it. I want to say that. But I do feel like you feel really bad about it. Um, have a nice afternoon to you too. That could have caused the shortness of breath stuff. I didn't realize that when you were asking me before. Um, I feel like it's okay for you to take up space and ask for help and ask for like and have people take care of you. Um, this isn't your message. I just feel like you need to know this. And it's okay for you like to you aren't a burden to others even though you feel like you've been dealing with this for so long. Like just when you put that extra pressure on yourself, it makes it harder to heal. So just like allow it. Say like remind yourself it's okay for me to be taken care of. It's okay for me to be kind of put ahead of others. I don't feel like you were allowed to feel that way growing up. I don't feel like your mom allows you to feel that way, like to take care of you. I feel like she did take care of you, but I also feel like there was times where she made you feel bad about the fact that she had to take care of you. Hmm. It was very much tough love growing up and a lot being tough. Yeah. So like it's okay. You guys will be able to go camping again and your husband knows that. So it's like he was disappointed, but like he's also like, and we can do this again. This isn't like a one and done kind of thing. Um, I feel like you're a little dehydrated because I almost feel like I felt really dizzy and I felt like wonky vision a little bit. And they're just saying that you need more water than you think where you're at. You're getting more dehydrated than you realize. I also feel like the houses that you're looking at is one of them like a number six because they're showing me six. So I don't know if it's number six or like within a very short period. I feel like you're going to be putting an offer in or moving. Like it's not long, so it might be putting an offer in. Like this is like the six is coming up for me again with you. You ordered more of those. Okay, great. Um, I feel like there you're going to be putting. And is the house blue or a light blue? I feel like you're going to be putting an offer in soon with that. Maybe moving by June 1st. Oh, that's a good sign. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's farmhouse style. Um, I feel like by June you'll be moving in. So this is already May, so we're almost in May. It feels like it would be a quick process. I guess I would put 6 weeks. I also feel like you'll feel better being there too. Um, there's something like just the like having your own space energetically and all of that will be helpful too. Oh, somebody asked an energetic question and I didn't get to it about and I'm sorry. Are you still here? About energies being around you? Yeah. Who was this? Let me find it. No, I can't find the question. You're welcome, Gabby. Oh, I okay, Jules, ask your question again because I meant to. That was like kind of one that could be like a general question. Sorry, I just realized, forgot that you had asked that. And then let's see, that's Gabby. Then I got Katrina, Hey Hey, McKeegan, and Regine. Hello, Katrina, are you here? Jules, hi. I always have spirits around me. I don't know why. They are low vibrational. How do I keep them away? Okay. So, if I told you everybody always has stuff around them, I mean, there's like spirits and energy around everywhere. You're aware of them. And so it's just learning to set boundaries. Why are they lower level? When you some energies feed off of negativity, and negativity can be depression, it can be fear, it can be anxiety. Um, and so, like, if you see them around a lot and it elicits a negative feeling, they're really there just sort of feeding off that energy. It doesn't mean that they're going to harm you. Because for the most part, they're not. Like, if you think about it, like when you eat food, you get energy off of food, right? So it's like that kind of same thing. Like it's their energy, it's their food. Um, so just start envisioning yourself building a white light around yourself. Like, remember I said beliefs create your reality, right? So it's like, even if they're there, I don't care. It doesn't really bother me. Like, I just sort of like decide like it's not an issue. Like, I don't need to be around that. And then also visualize a white light around you, that you're always protected, create that belief system. My guides always keep me protected. My guides always keep me safe. They're not going to do anything to you per se. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh my God, you have to protect yourself. And I'm like, most of them are just going to like make you feel like shit in order to get more like food, like make you feel like sad, tired, fearful, elicit a different energy. And sometimes lower level energies are there because you notice them more because they're easier to notice. They're appreciative that they're noticed by you. Like, I mean, I had so many spirits when I was really first starting to like, not that I've always had this ability, but when I was like really learning how to like tap in and like not just have it be a passive thing, that's something that just happened to me. And they would go like this, like, you can really see me. And I was like, yeah, stop it. Cut that shit out. Like, spirits will always be way more respectful of boundaries than humans will. Even the ones that aren't fully respectful at first are still more respectful than humans are. So it's sort of like, I see you. Let me go on with my thing. Can you go away? I know that's not really like a sexy answer of like, oh, like you have to do all of these things, but like, really, you don't. You just decide like, there's like these little black things with red eyes that they really bother kids a lot, but I've seen them a few times, and you just kind of like, you treat them like a toddler where you're like, okay, like I get it. Whatever you're doing, it's time for you to go. They really just watch, but they're like creepy kind of. So like can be unnerving. And I think that's like feeding off the negative energy, right? It just like feeds them, and you just like, it's time for you to go. Right. So then you just decide like, you aren't welcome here. This is my realm of existence. This is my space. It's time for you to go. Like, that's all you have to do. And you have to be really like certain that this is your space. Because the truth is like, if you start deciding that this is my realm of existence, this is my place to live, you don't have power over it. This is like me, VIP area. You don't belong in VIP area. It's time for you to go. Sort of act like a bouncer with your energy. If you need a physical thing, like, keep stones around you, you can ward off the area, but really like, you just have to decide, this is your energy, this is your space, and they aren't welcome. They may be a little persistent, like, and tenacious, like, well, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to say all these negative things, but you don't have to, like, just because they say negative things doesn't mean you have to act upon that. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, I get that you're trying to say something to scare me, and like, you don't belong here. It's time for you to go. Pardon my swearing, please don't write me up, YouTube gods. But you literally get to decide, this is your realm of existence and you don't belong here. I'm happy to help you cross over. Like, those are like, maybe as you get, like, you'd want to do more with that. But like, the other thing is like, be gone. Let's go. You can do things to like, you can you can do a cleanse in your house, like just fill it with white light. Just imagine, all you have to do, imagine it. Imagine your whole room filled with a bright white light. This is my space. You don't belong here. It's time for you to go. If you really need to talk to me, which they don't, because if they're saying negative things, they don't, meet me in my dreams. Process it there. Like, even if they're saying nice things, like you just want to go to sleep, meet me in my dreams. Happy to do that. But if they're like making you uncomfortable, this is your house. You own that space. This is your experience as a human. You own this space. Like, this idea that somehow this isn't, no, like, you came here to experience being a human. You don't have to deal with them. They don't have to be here. So you just say like, this experience is not for you. This is my space. Go away. I even say to like some spirits that are like, they're not harming me, but like, so like I was listening to, I don't know what this podcast is. I'll have to find the name of it because I've listened to a few of them. Something soul, it's not Soul Boom, it's like some other guy, but he was interviewing James Van Praagh, and James Van Prague is like other psychics who will say like, you have to turn off your abilities when you're out. You can't just have them on all the time. And I don't agree with that because I'm like, well, how do you turn off connecting with energy? Like, please tell me. Like some people wear hats and things like that. I'm like, that's like asking me to be like, just go out into the world blind. Go out to where you can't hear anything and you can't see anything, and just like you don't need that sense. So then I was like, honestly, when he said that, I was like, this Joker, I'm not like, I don't even. And something was like, just keep listening. What he really meant by that was, and what came out in the language later was, just because something is there does not mean you have to give it your energy. So like, he's like, I still see spirits and stuff when I'm out and around, but I don't go out and give messages to people. So that's what it is. I still see spirits, I still experience things, and I just don't have to, I also don't have to lean into it. So like, I will have some spirits will be like, hey, can you give a message? And I'm like, no, if you really want them to have a message, get them to find me and sign up for a reading with me. And I will be happy to do that. I believe that that's possible, that they can find a way for things to manifest so that that person ends up getting a reading from me in an appropriate setting. I don't feel that it's my job to share readings with everybody all the time wherever I'm at. Just like it's not your job to connect with that energy just because it's there. So you just tell them bye-bye. Like literally, it's literally just like standing strong in your power. Understand, like just like if you were talking to a toddler, you're the one in charge. This is your space, and you don't have to be mean about it. Like you don't, but it's like this is time for you to go. You don't belong here. You're not being a mean person by setting a boundary. And really and truly, spirits are much more respectful. Sometimes you have to be a little bit like say it a couple times, and then they'll go. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's like what you say to them. Like you don't belong here. Go find somebody else to get your food from. Okay. Katrina said, okay, sorry. General reading for Katrina. Sorry, I'm not sure what this is. Are you thinking about getting chickens? Or starting a little garden, or it's this idea of like, maybe I need to start like creating my own food. Like there's a little bit of worry. Um, is there worry for you around, um, like some of the stuff that's going on within the world, and like worry about like food supply, and like, are you going to have to start like farming or something? You want a garden, but is that coming from a place of fear? Um, okay. So then I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? So I was like, well, how's her health? Health is good. So I was like, and I just feel like you're feeling a little lonely. Um, but I also feel like you're sort of self-isolating a little bit. Um, I feel like, hang on, I was thinking of starting a hydroponic garden also for vegetables, but I was just thinking about it. I'm like, you should do it. I feel like a tall one versus in the corner. You've got some nice light in your apartment in the corner, but I feel a tall one. Um, I feel like I only have wall windows on like one side of my apartment. Maybe it's like the dining area. There's a like a wall of older windows or um you know, I'm great about responding to others because I'm being sucked into other people's problems and I don't have the energy for it. I almost feel like though too is like fear of putting yourself out there for dating or opening up your heart. And a lot of that just feels like more of like old relationship stuff, still like not making worried you're not going to pick up on the red flags. I actually feel like first of all, before I like, are you in a relationship? Are you looking for this? But I almost feel like something new coming in 3 months. You're married. So maybe a renewal of your relationship. Like, it feels like, because it doesn't feel like you're in a relationship. So there's maybe some distance right now in that relationship. So within 3 months, I feel like there's going to be a renewal coming in for you. Like, um, him pulling his head out of his butt a little bit. I just feel like he's not fully aware and not fully uh, processing how he can do better. Um, and I feel like actually some stuff is going to come across his like social media feed that's going to kind of wake him up to it. So it feels like a renewal in 3 months then. Maybe sooner, July. Yeah. I just feel like he doesn't like you know, just as much as we are raised in patriarchy, so are the men. And he's not fully self-aware yet. And I do feel like he's going to just open up. I don't know that he'll fully take accountability for it, but I do feel like making changes to like be like, oh, maybe that's what that is. Like it's not really about me. Like she just needs me to show up a little differently in order to be connected and have a more emotional connection. And part of you not you like the idea of like you not really putting yourself out there, and because I feel like there has been a lot of hurt there. Uh, so you know, people establish patterns of behavior. And so sometimes it's hard to trust that they're going to make the change, but I feel like he's going to make it. Maybe it involves some therapy. Maybe he starts doing some therapy or something. I don't know. But it just feels like becoming a little bit more different and aware. I feel like starting next month, it'll start kind of trickling in. And it just feels like it clicks a little bit more. The more exposure, the more it clicks for him. Excuse me. Okay. Good. I don't think he's one of these guys that just can't do therapy at all. I just want to say that. Like it'll actually work for him when he does it. Hey, what's your question? You're welcome. Unless you know your next question, Regina. I spoke to my sister and told her I won't live with her by November. I'm just looking at the weather, by the way. We're just waiting for somebody to type something. Do you see you leaving to a new appointment? Apartment, do you mean? Ah, okay. I feel like this is like well, yeah, you already decided it. Um, I don't know if I feel like you were going far. Do you live in like an apartment complex right now and then maybe you're moving to like a little like a multi-family home or something instead of living in an apartment complex? No, I don't think you keep an apartment with a roommate. I feel like you're learning to live by yourself. And maybe it means downsizing a little bit, like doing a studio or one bedroom, but I also feel like maybe living in a multi-family home where it's a little smaller apartment, but um you're not paying all the corporate stuff. When you live in a big complex, you're paying for whatever amenities come with that. I actually would be surprised if you live with her currently. I'm just thinking I wouldn't be surprised if she keeps the apartment and has a roommate, but I don't see you living there. McKeegan, what's your question? She's looking to buy a house. Oh, I just don't see. I don't see you being there. Maybe she buys a multifamily home and you live in like different places with her. Okay, I don't see you living there because I see you by yourself, like living by yourself. I've lived with my sister as an adult. Um, I mean, I'm just throwing out that I'm not strong on that one either way, but I do feel you're living like I see like a multifamily home where you're living in like a small, an apartment there rather than like a big apartment complex. Unless somehow it's like one of those condo complexes where they look kind of like little individual homes, but they're, I don't know, but I keep seeing it like an individual home where they've got multi-unit. It's like a multi-unit house and not like a big complex. Oh, she's buying a duplex. Girl, you might be living on the other side of that duplex. I will say I think it's easier um, than actually living in the same space with her. You'll have your own spaces. So it makes it easier. Keegan, you're looking for a new job and a new place to live. Any ideas of what to look out for? Um, I'm going to say I feel like it might take a little longer than expected to find the job. Um, and I feel like there's like two that fall through your hands. So it feels like I almost have it, and then it's like it just doesn't. So like maybe I do several interviews or whatever, and it's like the third one is the one I get. Um, but don't get discouraged. Like I was saying earlier, everything is neutral until we give it meaning, right? So like you can decide it means, oh my God, I'm never gonna get a job, or you can decide like, oh, that just means that like this is on my way to a manifestation. Like this is exactly as it's supposed to happen. Like it's totally fine. Bridge of incidents, not worried. I do feel like reminding you to like keep saying like it's a smooth transition. It's a smooth transition. It's a smooth transition from one job to the next. I know this is weird, but like when I'm like looking at things to look out for, I keep seeing like don't go for the place with the carpet. So I feel like you'll end up somewhere that has hardwood floors. And I don't know why that is. Hi, Rothka. How are you? It's very late there. Yeah, no carpets. I don't know why. It's like I feel like you're gonna look at several places and there's gonna be one with a carpet that maybe like has like it looks really good. It looks really nice and new, but I just feel like it's not the one. Like don't go with that one. Um I don't feel like it looks dingy and gross. I feel like it'll look one way, but it's like, but don't do that one. But I'm not getting a like this is when you're gonna get the job or this is what the job is gonna be. I just feel like it might take a little bit longer than expected. And to like there's like maybe the third one. I don't know. Just not to get discouraged along the process because on the surface it appears that way, but it's not. Because even the one that falls, like where it's like if it just literally feels like it's falling through a funnel, it feels like you thought that one would have been perfect or would have been, and it's like it's actually it wouldn't have been. Yeah. All right. Does anybody have any general questions about like economy, what's going on with the world? Um, I don't know, many of you didn't hear like that. Did you hear the thing about the Pope thing I got? I thought it was interesting where I was walking on the treadmill and I like put on this movie Angels and Demons, and like the beginning of the movie is like the Pope died and like there's like all this like stuff around it, and then all of a sudden like the Pope was like standing next to me as I was walking on the treadmill, and he was very smiley and happy. And there's like been some predictions in the past about like there's only one Pope after him, and like there's only one room for one more picture, and like then that means like then it's the end of the world, and like something about 2027. And I want to say this, that like I asked him, so I was like, okay, so there's like we were talking out about like also like which I thought was really sweet. It's like when you're called to do something that's like bigger than your, maybe you're like, how do you deal with that, whatever. So we were chatting a little bit, but then he was like, he's like, there's gonna be two popes more, so another two. And he's like, and then there's the change. But I didn't get the feeling that the change was like catastrophic, the end of the world, whatever. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah. Like he kind of made it like, yeah, it's kind of like a. So I feel like it's like he made it like not like the end of the world, but like, not the end of the world, nothing like that, but just like kind of like hoopla around it. And so then I asked my guides as I was driving yesterday, I was like, what does that mean? Like, what kind of change could it be? And they made me feel like there's disclosure of some sort that happens to where there's big changes within the Catholic Church. I don't know that it totally dissolves, but it's just different. And there's still going to be people that are like diehard Catholics. They're going with it. They're not going to believe all these things. And I said, maybe it's disclosure of aliens and all that other stuff, or like some of the information in the Vatican. Like, I don't know, but there's just going to be change, but it's not the end of the world. So I want to like just put that out there. Okay. So nobody has any general questions about anything, I'm guessing, I'm assuming. Like at all. None, zero, zip, zilch. Okay. I'm going to say goodnight. I will see y'all next week. I hope you have a fabulous week. In the meantime, if you are not subscribed to my email list, please subscribe to it, because like I send out I'm making them fun now. They're not just reminders about the readings. I did a little 3-card tarot reading, and I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Good night.